Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. And of course it is the international break. There's not an awful lot going on right now, so what I thought I would do for you guys today is just bring you a few rumours that have been going around in the local media in Barcelona and a bit further afield as well, surrounding three players in particular that Barcelona are potentially looking at ahead of either the January transfer window or the summer transfer window that is coming up. So we're going to be looking over those players, looking at the rumours, having a look if there's any truth to it, and basically just passing a bit of time while this international break goes on. And that's a really important point. You've got to take into account, especially when looking at these rumours, the timing of them. A lot of papers right now are in the same sort of position. They've not got much to report on. Not an awful lot is happening on the Barcelona front in terms of football, so obviously they're looking for other things to report. Not everything you read will be true, and we're going to be taking a closer look at those rumours right here, starting with, of course, Philippe Coutinho. And that is where it all starts, and that's where it all ended in the summer. Of course, you guys were here with me right throughout the summer where we looked at every angle of the Coutinho saga, which is exactly what it was. It was never going to happen, in my opinion. Liverpool, the entire summer, remained very, very resolute, very, very firm, and in the end they got their wish. Coutinho stayed put, but the big question always then was going to be, how would Coutinho himself react? Because reportedly he was heartbroken after the move broke down. He really, really wanted to make that move to Barcelona, but it didn't happen. How would he react when he returned to fitness? Would he still have the same effect in Liverpool colours? The answer to that is an overwhelming yes. Coutinho has returned to action for Liverpool. He's looked good, he's looked energised, he's actually looked quite happy, and he's been playing very, very well indeed. And in doing that, he's now sort of got back in with the Liverpool fans. He's back in their good books, they're happy with him, he seems happy enough and content enough, and that is why I was very, very surprised this morning to read an article by Mundo Deportivo, of course the source very, very close to the club and the board, remember. They've been kind of quoting, though, the Echo in the UK, which is not the most reliable of football sources. The Echo and MD were basically saying that Liverpool will be expecting an offer from Barcelona in the January transfer window. Barcelona are going to come in with a €110 million offer for Philippe Coutinho, and that offer was broken down. That would be €80 million up front, Mundo Deportivo believe, with 30 millions added in variables and bonuses, so altogether it would equate to €110 million. What I would say to that is, they are no way ever going to accept that offer, Liverpool. They are not going to even have a sniff at that. Liverpool right now need every good player they've got. Coutinho has come back into the team. He's reinvigorated himself to the supporters. He's shown that he can get on with manager Jurgen Klopp. They're playing well. They're not doing as well as they should be in the league. And even so, that would give them even bigger reason to keep somebody like Coutinho, who once again, the fans have seen how influential he is. And the owners will want to keep the power. They'll want to keep the peace. And they will definitely, I believe, still be very, very intent on keeping Philippe Coutinho. Another angle of it is, Coutinho has already played in the Champions League this season. He played against Spartak Moscow and scored in that game, which means that if he was to sign for Barcelona, he would not be eligible to play in the Champions League games, the very, very big games, of course, in our season this particular year. He is not eligible to play for any other club now, apart from Liverpool, in this year's Champions League. So that's an interesting thing to note, but I just honestly can't see happening. He's 25 now. He started the season very well. There's no doubt about that. He would certainly add something to our squad, but simply looking at it once again from Liverpool's point of view, they won't sell him, and certainly wouldn't sell him for anywhere near €110 million. We have got to be looking at a lot higher right now to land Coutinho's signature, because if anything, since the summer, his price has actually gone up. He's actually increased in value because of his performances. He played in the Premier League. You know, so far he's made 3 Premier League appearances, 2 goals already, man of the match displays. He's got an assist. I just said, you know, he's played in the Champions League. He scored the equalising goal against Spartak Moscow for Liverpool. He is integral right now, once again, for that team, and for that reason, I honestly, once again, can't see it happening in January, and certainly not for that amount of money. The next player that we're going to move on to and have a little look at what's been going on in the papers with Maxime Lopez of Marseille. You might not have heard of him. 19 years old. He's 5'5½". He's a very, very technical, creative midfield player, very young, and is very highly regarded in French French football as one of the most exciting young talents in their league right now, and he's been quite heavily linked with Barca over the past few months. He was linked very vaguely in the summer. Once again now, following the summer transfer window, ahead of January, there have been further links, but Mundo Deportivo this morning have come out and said the Barca board are very happy with Lopez's technical ability. They feel he's very, very good and very well suited to Barcelona, but they are very, very precautious about any deal because they feel he lacks physicality. Now, those words this morning really did strike me. I just don't really understand that. I don't understand that point of view. If we're going to start buying players based on their physicality, how they are sort of built, that is not the Barcelona way. We go on technical ability, how you play the ball, how you feel on the ball, how you can see a pass, how in the midfield area. It's not known for our brutality. We're not known for our physical style of play. You look at Busquets, you look at Iniesta, you look at Xavi. Those types of profiles are not based on physicality. And this is really the direction that I want to avoid with the current board. You don't want to go down that route. You don't want to go buying players who are physical, who are strong in a tackle. You don't need that at Barcelona. If you want to stick to our principles, if you want to stick to our philosophy, there's got us so far over the years. You stick to what we need, which is technical players, which is players that are good on the ball, very, very relaxed in our system. Those are the kind of players that we want. And I have to say, looking at Maxime Lopez, he's a very young player. Do we necessarily need him? I'm not so sure. I'm not saying we should go out and sign him tomorrow. I'm just worried about the direction the board are taking. I don't think Maxime Lopez is a necessity. I think he's a very, very bright young talent, but I wouldn't really want sort of a young player, a creative midfielder, to come into our team and replace the minutes of somebody like Carlos Alenia. I'd rather somebody from Barcelona be some of our youth prospects. I'd rather them go first. And that's what I wouldn't mind if the board came out and said, you know what, we're not pursuing him because we've got players that we've got our eye on coming up through our system that we want to give a chance first. That would be absolutely fine. But the reason they're turning their nose up to him is because of his lack of physicality. That for me doesn't make sense. And once again, that's the direction we really, really want to avoid going in. But he has started the season pretty well in Liga A, and he's made 3 league appearances so far. He's got 1 assist in those games. He's just been called up to the French under-21 squad for the current batch of games. He's played for the under-20s in the past, and now he's playing for the under-21. So he's certainly an exciting player. He's certainly a talent, and I bet he's somebody that we're going to be hearing a lot more from in the coming months, as possibly the rumours could intensify. So we're going to look back on this in more detail if more comes out of it. But right now it seems like the board is sceptical over any move for Maxime Lopez because of his lack of physicality. And the final player that we are going to take a look at in this video is somebody that I have mentioned just a few days ago, Goretzka of Schalke. Obviously a player that we looked at in a lot of detail. He certainly suits our midfield, he suits our style of play, and he's a very, very much an up-and-coming youngster who can definitely give us a lot in our team. Next summer he will be a free transfer. He'll be able to leave Schalke on a free. His contract expires, and today MD have come out and said in relation to that Maxime Lopez sort of stance that he's not physical enough, they feel like Goretzka is more of a fit for our midfield because he's a bit more rounded. That would make a bit of sense. I don't think, again, we should be going down that route entirely, but Goretzka does have an all-round game. We looked at it in the video where I took a closer look at Goretzka. That's on the channel if you want to take a look at that. We did look at his qualities, and he does have the qualities to succeed here, and I wouldn't be disappointed with his signing. But what beIN Sport are saying right now is that Goretzka is not going anywhere in January. He will not leave Schalke in January under any circumstances, even if bids come in for him. But in the summer he will leave for free, and his destination will either be Bayern Munich or Barcelona. So that's very, very interesting indeed. And he himself has started the season pretty well. 7 appearances so far in the Bundesliga. 2 goals scored, one of them on the weekend against Leverkusen, a stunning free kick. And in attendance that day was Ariado Breda, the Barcelona scout. He went to watch Goretzka, he went to scout him to have a look at what he was about. And also on that day he reportedly scouted Henrichs, who's a Bayer Leverkusen player, Julian Brandt, who's a Bayer Leverkusen player as well, and also Max Meyer of Schalke. So he scouted 4 players in that game, all of them Barcelona potentially have got their eye on, and it's going to be really, really interesting in the coming months to see who we do pursue. In January though, Bartomeu did come out and say that we wouldn't be doing an awful lot of business, so I wouldn't get your hopes up too much for a lot of signings in January, but at least we're working on possibly scouting a few profiles that could fit the system. We need to stick with the same direction, we need to be targeting the right group of players, and hopefully in the coming transfer windows videos. Hopefully the vote of no confidence gave the board a real jolt. Hopefully that really made them realise they cannot afford any more mistakes, and hopefully they can get on the right track now. But like I said before, I wouldn't hold out too much hope at all. In terms of Barcelona though, right now of course most of the players are on international duty. Those games are coming up within the next few days. The players who have remained behind from international duty, who weren't called up, they will train at the club tomorrow, and then they'll have a long weekend off whereby the players will have some rest. Valverde as well will have a few days off before the players come back from international duty at the middle of next week. And on that weekend, next weekend, we will face Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano, and that will be a spectacle indeed. So we're going to have lots coming up on the channel in the meantime, though it may be the international break, but there will still be things going on here for you guys. I will have episode 4 of my Barcelona FIFA 18 career mode coming up shortly for you guys, whether that be today or tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet. Let me know if you'd like to see that today down in the comments. Also guys, based on the 3 players that I have mentioned in today's video, who, if any, would you like to see come in January, and who do you think right now we should be pursuing, if anyone? So let me know all your thoughts down below guys on the transfers, on Barcelona, and anything else that you want to see on the channel. I really appreciate all your feedback as always guys, and I will see you very shortly indeed for another video. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça! 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 Barça!